So I just got done reading the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 225 leaks, and I was like, oh my god, I have to make a video about this right now. So without further ado, let's dive into chapter 225. Obviously, this is going to be a spoiler-heavy video, so if you don't want spoilers for the most recent chapter, click off right now. So we start this chapter off with a switch in perspective away from Sukuna and Gojo, and we see that Mei and a couple of other sorcerers are sitting around a screen watching the fight unfold. Along with that, we see that there is some kind of commentating over the fight, which is really interesting. It should be noted that we don't actually see what's happening on this screen at this point. We just see, or rather hear, from the commentator that Sukuna is using his domain amplification, and he's doing this in order to counter Gojo's infinity. We see Yuta, Hikari, and Kusakabe discussing what this domain amplification actually is, and it's later noted that it is nothing more than a simple domain. Essentially, it's just a simple domain, but it gets rid of the restriction of movement, although you can't use your curse technique while you are using your domain amplification, which is really interesting, which means that Sukuna is gonna have to come up with something that is a little bit more complex to counter Gojo's infinity. We then see Miwa and Kirara speaking about why he's using domain amplification instead of a domain expansion, and it's noted that they likely don't want the fight to end too early. This is probably something from JJK Akutami, just, you know, sprinkling that in there, saying that he doesn't want the fight to end too early and go too easily for one or the other. It should be noted that Gojo can actually use his 6 eyes to see if he can cast his domain over Sukuna's, and it's noted that if he were able to do that, then he would pretty much automatically win with his infinity, but he doesn't cast his domain, which means that Sukuna's simple domain, or his domain amplification, is actually stronger than Gojo's, which kind of is a little bit worrying. We at this point see both Gojo and Sukuna open up their domains, which means that we see Unlimited Void on one side and Malevolent Shrine on the other, canceling each other out at this point. And so it seems that this would be a stalemate, but I wouldn't be making this video if the next panel did not happen. And we then see Sukuna use a slash, and we see the panel where Gojo has his throat slit open, which is unbelievably crazy. Now, people are saying he's going to use reverse curse technique. I sure hope so. I'll put it that way. This does not bode well for Gojo at all. This doesn't bode well for anyone in the series at all at this point, because I don't know anyone that would be able to take down a full power Sukuna besides Gojo. Now, obviously, we know that Gojo's used his reverse curse technique before to heal when he was taking on Toji, but I am just very concerned about it at this point. This is a lot that happens. This is a hell of a chapter to come at us with after a week of, you know, not having any content. It's absolutely crazy. I'm really excited to see what the next chapter is going to bring next Monday when the leaks drop. But oh god, do I hope Gojo is all right, because if not, we are surely in trouble. Now, the article that I'm saying actually gives us a little bit of insight onto why Gojo would not be alive, and it's interesting. I'll read it for you guys right now. Gojo is still in Sukuna's domain, so that would potentially prevent him from using reverse curse technique, which could be, you know, troubling. And it's also noted that as long as Gojo is there, the plot refuses to move forward. Now, the question that really is kind of born out of this is who's going to be the next kind of protagonist. You could say Yuta, you could say Yuji, you know, we have Choso, we have Kashimo as well. We've got a lot of different characters that could kind of come back or come into the fold and, you know, start throwing hands. Hikari is definitely one that would potentially be looked at as maybe being able to help, especially with his curse technique. But I mean, it's really interesting. I'm very intrigued to see where JJK Akutami takes this from here. A replacement of a main character or of a honored one of sorts would definitely be in the cards if Gojo does die. So yeah, absolutely crazy stuff. If you guys did like this video, please drop a like, comment what do you think about this and what do you think is going to happen. Absolutely nuts. I am flabbergasted that this has happened, and yeah, if Gojo does die, people are not going to be happy, but I mean, hey, it's not even going to get animated for like another 6 years. All right, if you guys liked the video, please drop a like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next. This was absolutely bonkers. I love you all. Thank you all for watching. Peace.